Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Let's talk about Nicole and Eric. Now, like I said from yesterday, I was excited seeing Eric come back because he's been gone for literally about a year. Okay? And granted, when I did see him, his character was, well, boring. But having him come back, I thought it was really interesting. Now, there's this happy reunion, and Nicole's they talk about how excited she is that he's back, and yada yada yada. And here's the thing. I look at this two ways. And yeah, it's nice actually seeing Nicole being happy that her husband's back, and that's, what she wanted. She was really sad, she was lost, she was lonely without him, she was angry. She went through all of those sort of emotions. So actually having him back was really nice to sit there and see Nicole happy. And, seeing him happy and everything like that. So that was cool. But I couldn't just get it out of my head that every time they kept talking and everything like that, it was just one of those things where it's like, this whole time you're sitting there talking to him and you're doing all these platitudes and you're like, oh, I feel bad and yada yada yada. I'm like, you are so not saying the things that is important, that is necessary to say. Okay? He's back, and you're just gonna act like it's just another Thursday. Not that you cheated on him with someone else. And the thing is, she was drunk, okay? She was at a very low point in her life. And, he was gone for way too long. Doing this, and it's, I'm not gonna lie, it's so funny when she was talking about, oh, I know you had a lot to do with the mission in Africa and the kids and the helping and stuff like that, and I'm just like, you have no idea what he was doing down there, do you? Do you? Which is fine, because no one has any idea what he was doing down there. And I felt like this whole time, and again, this whole trip, going back to Africa, helping the villages and stuff like that, and I'm like, so where's the timetable on this? Okay? Because whatever their problems was, it seemed like it was going to get solved in a definite period of time. So what was he gonna do? He was gonna go there, say a couple words, move a couple of boxes, talk to some people, and then what? This didn't seem like it was, okay, I have a plan, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna leave. This seems like this was a damn near lifetime commitment. So again, he was gone for way too long, and he kept extending it and everything like that. And I'm just like, maybe if you talk to him, yeah, he's going to be mad. He's going to be angry. There's a good chance you could lose him. But what's going to be even worse is you lying to his face. You build him up. You're giving him all this hope that everything's going to be back to normal and everything like that. And when the truth comes out, he's going to be devastated. And, of course, he's going to do the whole, oh, I'm sorry, I just, I'm just happy. The little fake tears and everything like that. And it's just, I didn't know, and I'm sorry, and, we get to work through, the usual crap that people say when they cheat, and they say this stuff as though you're supposed to be like, oh, I mean, when you put it that way, then yeah, it's like, no. But that's really, I was sitting there thinking about the entire time. Now Sammy is trying to get Xander to spill the beans. Like, hey, listen, I just need to hear it. I need to hear it on tape. I will give you $1 million, and, I'll leave your name out of it, whatever. Because here's the thing. I'm gonna get the truth out. The difference is, are you gonna get paid? Now, later on, I don't know what that was going on. Later on in the episode, he does agree. He's like, yo, listen, you come with that $1 million, I'll sit there and say whatever you want. Now, granted, this is when Gwen walks in, and Gwen got called at the police station by Eli. Eli's like, yeah, your story that you told me before, that doesn't really seem like that tracks. It's just a lot of holes in your story, as far as, my grandmother said that, well, he was at your house. So, you want to tell me what's going on with that? Because you said the last time that you saw him was at the hospital, and that's a lie. So now, She's sitting there trying to cover it up, and she's like, oh, well, it was one of Xander's friends. I don't know. You gotta talk to Xander. What I'm surprised is the fact that he let her go. So that way, Gwen can go straight to Xander and tell him her story. Like, it would have been so much better. I mean, granted, this, soap operas or whatever. But it would have been so much better if you would have brought them both down there. And you would have separated them. Like how real cops do that. And then you would have said, you would have gave him the same story and see if it made no sense. Which it wouldn't have made any sense. But, of course, you gave her time to sit there and warn Xander. So that's great. You can keep, you can hold people for about a good 72 hours, I think. So, I guess we're just not going to do that. Alright, cool. So she goes back and, she makes a beeline to Xander. She's like, oh, Xander, we gotta talk. Like, now. Like, cops, lawyers, now. And that's when Xander's like, yo, listen, you come with this money, I will sing like a canary. So, Sammy leaves. They start talking. Of course, they start arguing. And once again, Gwen is like, oh, well, you're the person that killed them. And you're the person that dumped the body. And I'm like, really? So you're just gonna leave him out to dry, right? Which, I mean, let's be honest. Xander is... This guy, my eyes are starting to get just lower and lower and lower on my opinion bar. But, even Xander's like, so you're just gonna after what I try to do for you, try to help you out, this is how you're gonna sit there and repay me? You're just gonna just let me hold the bag and just keep running, right? But they didn't really get a chance because Eli walked in. Eli was like, so, I need to question you. What's going on? This whole story doesn't make any sense. Gwen Smith is saying you have a friend. What's that about? And Xander, because, I mean, let's be honest, it's a lot harder to tell a lie than to tell the truth. Just starts messing up on this lie that he starts telling. He just starts messing up. He's like, oh, it's a friend. One of my friends. I can't really sit there and say which one. And I don't really want to sit there and tell you because, this person said to his wife that, he's sober. And I don't want to be that person. Eli's like, okay. Alright, I see you just playing games with me, right? I got you. So, let's go down to the station. And, Xander makes a threat like, oh, well, you're not going to do anything, or else. And I think we both looked at him like, or else what? Or else what? Well, what you going to do? Next thing you know, he's at the interrogation room. And apparently Xander shoved Eli. Which I think that's what Eli's plan was, to kind of keep him there. Because he's all like, police brutality. I'm like, for so many reasons, you really don't want to go there. But, Eli gives him that wink like, yeah, crazy. Because I knew, when he did that, I was like, yeah, that was his plan. Maybe. Or maybe he just counted on Xander just being a jackass. And impulsive. But yeah, now he's at the holding cell, now... whatever. Meanwhile, Sammy goes back to check on Xander to sit there and kind of get that confession. And Gwen is like, yeah, he's at the police station. So when Gwen leaves, Sammy is not there, saying that she... No, this is after. When she gets a call from... I was going to sit there and say Luck, and when she gets a call from Eric, and Eric's like, listen, don't show a party. Here's the thing, you got to play nice with Nicole, because I can't have y'all two going back at each other. And, Sammy's all like, oh, is that something that you want? Is that something that she wants? What's the difference? That is his wife. Like, did you forget? Okay. So, he hangs up the phone, invites Sammy over, and Sammy's all like... she says something along the lines of, oh, that lying slut. And I'm like, really? Really? You... Ooh, wow, Sammy, wow. You actually called her a lying slut about, I don't know, cheating on her husband. The gall. The nerve of this woman. I know that they don't like each other, but that's like me. That's like literally, she's doing the exact same thing. So every time she starts getting on the cold for something, it's like, is this chick serious? Is she retarded? Like, what is wrong with this woman? I don't. But yeah, I don't know with that woman. Sammy is a real piece of work. And I'll say that much. Now, Philip brings Chloe to the office. You can't really drive, hold stuff, make coffee apparently. So he's there. And, Brady's like, alright, well, you can go now, we got work to do. And Philip's like, alright, listen, I got a business proposal for you. And Brady is just like, I don't even want to hear it. I'm like, well, damn. Even Philip's like, you haven't even heard what I had to say. I'm pretty sure Nicole may want to hear. Being your business partner and everything like that. And Brady's like, no, we're at the same mind at this one. We don't want it. We don't want no parts of you. Even though that, Philip was like, I'll let you use my warehouse. And of course, Brady was like, oh, you only did that for Chloe. You can go now. So he leaves. And I'm just like, Brady, you... I gotta sit there and say that the writers really did a good job, as far as I'm concerned, with Philip. Because, of course, I went from going to calling him a man-child, and I do not regret saying that, to me actually rooting for Philip. I still can't believe they just had me do a 180. But, Philip was like, well, this is it's just like high school again. Except for you didn't get the girl this time. And he walks off. And now Brady's all mad, like, oh, he gotta sit there and shove his relationship in my face. I'm like, bro, she don't want to hear that. To be honest, I don't want to hear that. And like, what was your plan? You were just gonna get back together with her and just hope that Kristen would just be like, nah, it's cool. After you was not there all upset the fact that you got her involved in this whole Kristen thing in the first place and got her shot, nearly got her killed, but whatever. You're upset that he's throwing the relationship in your face. Okay. Wow. They get invited to Eric's thing, and at one point, it almost looked like Brady was going to sit there and spill the beans as far as, when Chloe's like, it's such a shame, she's being alone and everything like that, and, she's going through a lot, and Brady was like, oh, you don't know the half of it. Well, what does that mean? Oh, it's hard to marry a woman and being gone for that long. Brady, you damn... Lucas was about to go into the office and give him the letter. And he was about to blow his whole world apart. But then Kate walks in. Kate's like, oh, you're only here to sit there and, make sure I don't get the job because you don't like him. And, I'm going to sit there and do what I want. I'm like, Kate, you haven't even heard what he had to say. And you just walk in and just assume everything's about you. Now, I get it to some extent. But I'm like, you didn't even let him get a chance to explain. Which was probably a good idea. Because Lucas did leave and he was talking to Philip. He tells him about the whole affair with Sam and everything like that and how he's going to blow EJ's life apart. And of course Philip gives him some really bad advice as far as like, hey, listen, you can give him the letter, but you can make sure he gets the letter. Just make sure that you're not the one that, make sure you don't get caught. Like, make sure you're not the person that, is known for him getting the letter, because Philip's like, listen, you gotta play dirty, since he's playing dirty, you gotta sit there and play dirty and stuff like that, and, do what you gotta do is sit there and get back the woman that you love. And of course, this is after they talk about the whole Chloe thing, and the whole brain tumor thing, and the penguin thing, and everything like that. But, he gives him some advice as far as, like, make sure you give him that letter, and I'm just like, even Lucas realized it was a bad idea because he was like, listen, if I do that, Sammy would never forgive me. And apparently that's not what he wants because he still wants to be with Sammy Because that makes sense. You want to be with a hypocrite. Okay. Alright, that... Alright, bro. Alright. Meanwhile, you know, EJ is sitting there talking to Kate, and EJ's like, listen, I think that there's something going on between them as far as, you know, Lucas having feelings for Sammy. Now, of course, he chooses his words wisely because, you know, that's his mom. He's sitting there, you know, he's talking to her. He's like, listen, you know, he's just going to have to understand. He's just going to have to get over the fact that we have reconnected in every way possible. I'm like, okay, gross. That's... okay, but whatever. And it's funny, too, because, you know, when Lucas walked through the door, you know, EJ was being so hella smug. He was like, oh, you know, yesterday, Jake came in, you know, came in my house, well, came in the house with the same thing, like he was going to shoot me. But, is that what you plan on doing, bro? Is that what you got? And, of course, it just enraged Lucas even more. It's like, no, I don't got that. I got something else. And he's about to bring out the letter, and that's when, you know, Kate walks in. But, yeah. I think that's about it for the most part. I mean, it really wasn't a lot with, Kate and EJ. As much as I like EJ's scenes, it just really wasn't a lot. You know, he just talked about Sammy and Lucas and how, you know, they're not gonna, you know, Sammy doesn't, like, she's not gonna go for Lucas, and, you know, Lucas is just gonna have to sit there and kind of, you know, I don't know, do something else with his time, not sit there and try to rekindle some old feelings with Sammy, like, because that's not gonna happen according to, you know, EJ's eyes, and literally, no, it already happened, but whatever. You know, like usual, I feel like I missed something. So, if I did, write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. I will see you in the next video.